Kevin Coleman, the number 2 wide receiver in the nation, the number 15 player in the nation, recently broke down some details about the process of his recruitment, and we need to get into it. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. So hop down to the comments and give me a Y for yes or an N for no. And given the fact that Evan Stewart just decommitted from the University of Texas, do you believe that Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns will be a full send on Kevin Coleman? And make no mistake, they won't be the only one, but let me know what you think about that. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification, because I do constant college football content, player reviews, film analysis, talk style videos like this, and I'm on my push to 5,000 subscribers in my first year, and I'd love to have you along. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to like and comment down below, and that's not just relegated to this channel. Any content creator you love, be sure to do that, because it really does help support their channel, and I cannot thank you all for the support I have received. But with all that being said, let's talk Kevin Coleman and why his process is going to be so key to so many institutions. And the first reason it's going to be so key is the dominoes of receivers that are already falling. And make no mistake about it, I always say the camp setting has created a better environment for certain positions relative to others. While all positions are increasing and they're getting better from these camp settings, cornerbacks, wide receivers, offensive line, and defensive line are getting reps that are very analogous to what they will see on game day. And because of the number of reps that they're able to get that are actual meaningful game time reps, they are reaping the benefits of this exponentially. And we can see that in the years with these receivers and especially these cornerbacks. My goodness, you look all across this class and it's high level receivers, high level cornerbacks. And Coleman is absolutely one of those receiving targets. But these receivers are flying off the board right now. You have the number 1 receiver in the nation already committed to OU. You have another 5-star receiver already committed to Ohio State. And so programs aren't going to want to wait to try and get their guy. They are going to go all in on these guys while they're still available, because these top-level guys are going to be massive additions for whichever team they choose to go to. And Kevin Coleman is going to be a dude for wherever he goes. He is incredibly talented, and he is going to be a very exciting player to watch on the next level. Offensive coordinators are going to be jumping to get to this kid on campus, to get to talk to him, and to be able to convince him that they are best for him, because he had some really cool things to say. First and foremost, let's talk the schools that he said are contacting him the most. And of that group, there really isn't any surprises. We have Alabama, Oregon, Arizona State, Florida State, Texas, USC, Penn State. All programs that have been very talented at the wide receiver position, all programs that have been very talented offensively. And so because of that, I don't think that there's too much to be surprised about. However, I do want to point out that it is interesting, one of the things that he went out of his way to say, and that's about Florida State. He and Travis Hunter are getting very close on this 7-on-7 trail, and Travis Hunter is one of the fastest surging recruits in the nation, and I know that's crazy to say when you're already ranked as the 4th best recruit in the nation, but he will probably find himself as the number 1 cornerback in the nation, and that's no slight to Damani Jackson, a guy who is exponentially talented, but Travis Hunter is different, man. I don't know if y'all have been hearing, but with these 7-on-7s, it hasn't just been as a cornerback. They have been having to put multiple dudes on him when he is at receiver, because he is just that unstoppable right now. And he has been in Coleman's ear trying to tell him, come to Florida State so that we can go best against best. And it's interesting because Florida State just got another 5-star athlete in Sam McGall. So the Florida State Seminoles class is surging in recruiting right now. They are a very exciting class, and this is a real pitch that both Hunter and Florida State are giving to Coleman. As surprising as it is to say, it wouldn't surprise me if he was to actually commit to Florida State. This class right here is generating a ton of buzz and is almost like USC. I'm not surprised at all to see USC firmly on this list, because USC's class likewise is generating a ton of buzz. Alabama makes complete sense, especially when you look at Freddie Roach and Coach Wiggins being the guys recruiting him. Both guys have pulled plethora of blue chip guys, both guys who have been key recruiters for the University of Alabama. And when you look at the lineage of receivers that Alabama has been putting out, my goodness, they are wide receiver U. To be able to put out first round after first round caliber wide receiver, we're talking wide receivers that are dominating in the NFL right now. Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, and then you just put out 4 first-round wide receivers in the span of 2 years, and now on this back burner, you have guys such as John Mechie, JoJo Earl, Christian Leary, Ja'Cory Brooks, Ajayi Hall, Taiyu Jones-Bell, Trayshawn Holden. My goodness, I could go on days for days. Slade Bolden. You have so many competent playmakers at the receiving position that Alabama has got to be an incredibly enticing offer because you know what they do for receivers. They send dudes into the league in droves at every single position. But right now, there is really no other institution. Ohio State is close. Oklahoma is close. There's a lot of institutions that are doing great things with receivers, but Alabama is wide receiver U right now. And I know that sounds crazy to say. An institution that used to be all about defense and running, they are wide receiver U right now. But probably of this entire list, the school that is the most enticing to me right now for Kevin Coleman, and for a reason we talked about at the beginning, is the Texas Longhorns. The Texas Longhorns just lost out on one of my favorite prospects in all of recruiting, Evan Stewart. And while I still think the Texas Longhorns are firmly in place to be able to win back Evan Stewart, make no mistake, it will not be easy. Anytime you lose a commitment from a guy, it's never easy to get it back. Now, I will grant Texas fans this. The reason he decommitted is because he wants to see the college football landscape. He's surging as a recruit, and I think he's just really understanding how incredibly good he is. This kid is special. He is smooth. He reminds me of a few different guys, and it's always crazy for me to think about because it seems almost blasphemous to put those projections out there for him, but just know he is an incredibly talented guy. And even though Texas just lost out on him, they could still get him back because of the excitement around Steve Sarkisian and genuinely because of what Steve Sarkisian can scheme for him. But Steve Sarkisian can have a great pitch to Coleman. All he needs to do is show him the film of how he schemed for Jalen Waddle, especially in Jalen Waddle's healthy games, because Coleman is going to tear it up as a slot wide receiver. He'll tear it up at any position as the wide receiver, make no mistake about it. But as a slot, he is going to be almost unstoppable. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch him go out there and see what he does. But I think probably the most interesting thing and the thing that makes Coleman such a valuable target to me is his mindset. When he was talking about the institutions he wants to go see, he wants to go for visits, he wants to get his family out there, he wants to build relationships with these coaching staffs, which is why I'm so high on institutions right now such as USC, Texas, Alabama, and apparently Florida State with the way they're recruiting, because these institutions have been building relationships, Texas doing it now, USC getting back to doing it, and Alabama having been done it, especially with you look at the guys who are recruiting Coleman and Freddie Roach and Wiggins. Just look at their history. They're dudes who recruit. But that being said, that's not the only thing. All of the schools he's listed are top 25 programs in the field he's interested in, and he wants a place that's going to get him ready for not only the NFL, but life. And it's not just that he wants to go and get to the NFL in 3 years. He's talked about, regardless of whatever path he goes, he's going to get that degree, and that really does matter for him. And for a kid of this talent to be this cognizant that football is great, football is an incredible catalyst that teaches society unity, and some of the more important life lessons I think can be found in football if society would just look. He also understands that this is temporary and I can use this as a catalyst to do something that I truly love, and because of that, that aspect of education is very important to him. And this is going to be a really interesting battle because he is going to be a very interesting piece for whatever team. Whatever team is able to land, Coleman is getting a guy that is exponentially talented that will probably come in day one and contribute in an extremely meaningful capacity. But I can't wait to hear from y'all. Hop down in the comments and let me know where you think Kevin Coleman is going. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. That's it. See ya.